There's a prayer people say in the exact minute before making a decision that will change their life forever. And it's not a long prayer. It's not a complicated prayer. It's a prayer that fits in 1 minute, and whoever says it never regrets it. Have you ever stood still, heart racing, not knowing whether to say yes or no? A job offer, a relationship, moving to a new city, a hard conversation. That moment where the whole world feels like it's on pause, waiting for you to decide. I've been there. And most people in those moments do one of two things. They decide out of panic, or they freeze completely and don't decide anything at all. But there's a third option, and it starts with a prayer. The problem is that nobody taught us to pray before making a decision. We were taught to think, calculate, ask for advice, sleep on it. All of that has value. But there's one thing most people skip, especially in the most intense moments of their lives: the conversation with God. And you might say, "But I pray. I ask God to help me. I believe you." But praying in the moment of the decision is different. It's different from praying in the morning, still half asleep in bed. It's different from praying at church in the middle of a worship song. Praying in the minute before a big decision is an act of complete surrender. And very few people know how to actually do that. Because what usually happens? The person is about to send that message, sign that contract, say that word, and they pray like this: "God, help me." 2 seconds, and they go for it. That's not a prayer. That's a sigh with God's name on it. I'm not saying God doesn't hear. I'm saying you didn't stay quiet long enough to hear back. And then you make the decision without peace, with doubt, with that heaviness in your chest that stays with you for days. And you start asking yourself, did I make the wrong call? Should I have gone the other way? And that cycle of doubt is exactly what happens when you decide without really praying. So what is this 1-minute prayer before a big decision? First, let me tell you what it is not. It's not a magic formula. It's not a ritual. You don't need candles, a special place, or a nice voice. You can be in your car, in the office bathroom, in the hospital hallway, sitting on the sidewalk. God doesn't care about the setting. He cares about your heart. So let's start from the beginning. The first step of this prayer is to stop. That sounds obvious, but it's not. Most people pray while moving. They pray while thinking about 1,000 other things. Actually stop. Close your eyes if you can. Take a deep breath and recognize that you are facing something bigger than you can handle on your own. That alone is already the beginning of a prayer. Proverbs 3 verses 5 and 6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will make your paths straight." Notice the word, acknowledge. It's not just asking. It's recognizing that He is there, that He is in control, that you are not alone in that moment. The second step is to be honest. You don't need to pretend for God. You don't need to seem strong or spiritual. If you're scared, say it. "Lord, I'm scared." If you're confused, say it. "I don't know what to do." If you're tempted to take the easy way out even though you know it's wrong, admit that. God already knows everything. Honesty in prayer isn't there to inform God. It's there to open you up for real. And when you open up like that, something happens. The pressure starts to leave. That weight in your chest gets lighter. Not because the decision got easier, but because you're no longer carrying it alone. The third step is to ask for direction, not confirmation. This is crucial. The difference between the two is huge. When you ask for confirmation, you've already decided what you want deep down, and you're waiting for God to agree. That's not prayer. That's you wanting a divine stamp on your own will. And God is too loving to be that. Asking for direction is different. It's showing up without a ready answer. It's saying, "Lord, show me the way. Not mine, yours." And then you stay quiet for a moment. You listen, not necessarily to an audible voice. It might be a peace that shows up. It might be something you read that comes back to your mind. It might be a feeling in your heart that this path isn't the right one, or that it is. God speaks in many ways, but you only hear him if you stop talking for at least a few seconds. The fourth step is to let go of the outcome, and that's the hardest one, because we pray, ask for direction, and then still want to control what happens. But the prayer of someone who truly trusts God has this part at the end. Lord, I will do my part, but the outcome is yours. And you let go. For real, not just with your mouth, with your heart. The Bible has a powerful example of this. In the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus was about to make the hardest decision in history, the decision to go to the cross, and he prayed like this: Father, if it is possible, take this cup from me. Yet not my will, but yours be done. That's surrender. That's a prayer before a big decision. He didn't skip the hard part. He didn't pretend he was okay. He said, I don't want this, but if this is your path, I trust you. And then you might say, but I'm not Jesus. My decision isn't that big. Maybe it's about a job, a relationship, a life change. But here's what I'd say back. To God, your life matters just as much as any other. The size of the decision in the world's eyes is not what defines how much God cares about it. What defines it is how much it matters to you. And if it matters to you, it matters to Him. Now, I want to tell you something that happens very often with people who start praying before their decisions. It's not that the decisions become easy. It's not that things never go wrong. It's not that life turns into endless peace and calm. That's not it. What changes is this. You stop carrying the weight of regret the same way. Because when you prayed, when you surrendered, when you were honest with God and asked for direction, and made the decision with the best you had inside you at that moment, you know you did your part, and the rest was in God's hands. That doesn't take away the pain when things don't go as expected, but it takes away that torture of asking yourself, what if I had prayed? What if I had asked for help? What if I hadn't decided alone? There's a phrase I heard once and never forgot. Prayer doesn't change God. It changes the one who prays. And it's true. You walk into that 1 minute of prayer one way and you walk out another. Clearer, more grounded, more at peace, even without having all the answers. And do you know what the most important decision a person can make is? It's not about a job. It's not about a relationship. It's the decision to live with God at the center. Because when He is at the center, every other decision goes through a different filter. You no longer decide alone. You decide with the greatest advisor there is. So let me bring all of this down to one simple thing. Before your next big decision, take 1 minute, one real minute. Stop, breathe, and do 4 things. Acknowledge that God is right there with you. Be honest about what you're feeling. Ask for direction, not confirmation. And let go of the outcome. It doesn't need to be eloquent. It doesn't need beautiful words. It can sound like this. Lord, I don't know what to do. I'm scared. I need you. Show me the way, and I trust the outcome. That's enough. That's powerful. That's real. Life is going to keep asking you to make decisions every single day. Some small, some huge. But you don't have to make any of them alone. You have access to a wisdom that goes way beyond your own. And all it asks is that you stop, open your heart, and talk. 1 minute. Just 1 minute. That can change everything. If this video hit something inside you, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what's next.